Welcome back to ECOSTRESS tutorials. This tutorial will teach you how to use a Python code to apply QC flags to ECOSTRESS images. First, let's make sure we have everything we need downloaded. I downloaded this QC flag code from the ECOSTRESS tutorials GitHub. I'll make sure to put a link of this in the description. Also, I downloaded some ECOSTRESS data from a peers. I have two different types of data in here. I have LST, land surface temperature data, as well as some QC layers. I requested these layers from a peers and downloaded them. Then I put them in this folder. Now let's create a new project folder. Right-click and select New Folder. Name this folder accordingly so you know that it's the main project folder. Now let's move the code and our downloaded data into the project folder. Next, let's open the project folder and right-click and select New Folder. This folder will be for our outputs, so name it accordingly. Now that we have our folder set up, let's open Visual Studio Code. At the top, select File, Open Folder, and get connected to the main project folder. In the Explorer tab, find the QC flag code and click on it to open it. It should look something like this. If you want to learn more about what each line of the code does, make sure to look for these comments. Comments are text like these that are in green and have a hashtag in front of them. Comments do not affect how the code is run, but they do provide more information for readers. Let's find the section of the code titled Set Constants for the project. Look for this variable titled Input Directory and find this red text. We need to replace this text with the folder path to our input data. To do so, go to the Explorer tab and find our input data. This is the folder titled ECOSTRESS Data. Right-click on it and select Copy Path. Now that it's copied, go ahead and highlight this red text and press Command V to paste it. Make sure there's still an R in front and that it's still wrapped in quotes. Next, let's find the variable titled Output Directory. We want to do the same thing here. So let's find our QC Outputs folder, right-click, and select Copy Path. Now we can go here and paste it. Make sure there's still an R at the beginning and it's wrapped in quotes. The last thing you need to set up is how strict of a QC you would like. Under the section of the code titled Apply the QC Mask to the LST image, find the part of the code starting with the green comment saying Pre-process the QC file. By default, the code will keep values of 0, which means the pixel is perfect, and 1, which means the pixel is of nominal quality. However, if you would like to filter for just 0 or perfect pixel values, you can do that by commenting out the current line of code and uncommenting the QC flag for just the 0 line of code. To do this, let's start by commenting out this existing line of code. We can highlight it and press Command/, and then we can uncomment the other line of code that we would like to keep. Select it and press Command/. So if we leave it how it is now, it's only selecting perfect pixels. However, if we leave it as it was before, it's selecting perfect and nominal pixels. You can change this however you may like. I'm going to set it to be perfect and nominal. So once again, I'm going to highlight and do Command/ to uncomment this, and highlight and select Command/ to comment this. Now the code should be set up to run with your images. Let's scroll back to the top and find the section titled Import the libraries we need to apply the QC mask. Click into this first box of code and press Shift-Enter to run it. A pop-up will appear asking you to select the Python environment. Click Python Environments, and then select ECOSTRESS. or you can select any other environment that you would like to use. Let the code run for a bit and the seconds will count up. You will know it's done running when a green checkmark appears. Continue this process of running each block of code in order from top to bottom by clicking onto the module with the code and pressing Shift and Enter to run it. This part of the code will return a table with the date time, the name of the raw surface temperature file, the name of the QC file, and finally the name of the output file. This part of the code will return the name of the QC file and its missing proportion. If the missing proportion is too high, it will give you a message saying low quality scene, skipping this file, and that file will not be saved to the output. If you do not want to skip files that have a high missing proportion, or you used a non-rectangular shapefile to download data from peers, you may want to get rid of this part of the code that skips these images. To do so, highlight it and press Command / to comment it out. Then you can proceed with the code as normal. Once you have got this output, let's make sure that the output files have been produced. Let's go to the output folder and make sure the files are there. You now know how to QC a batch of ECOSTRESS images using this code. Thank you for watching this ECOSTRESS tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. For more trainings, tutorials, and information, including a written version of this tutorial and its associated code, go to ecostress.jpl.nasa.gov/documents, which will be linked in the description.